Hi everyone, how's it going? This is the fashion we ended with yesterday, or the other day. Let's change the fashion again. That looks kind of weird. Choir gloves. Ma'am Tim, what's going on? How are you? Gotta look baller for when I go see Gehrman. Alright, so first thing is, indeed first, I have to eat some umbilical cords. And like we mentioned last time, the umbilical cord is shown really rather figuratively in a few different places. It's more than just a literal umbilical cord. There's connections to the point where, like, Kojima Hideo would be a little jealous when it comes to Death Stranding. There's your Death Stranding joke for the week. But seriously, there's more than just the literal umbilical cords in the game. There's the connection between parent and child, between Great One and partner, and the bonds of child and life and stuff like that. So not only are the Great Ones competing to have a child, because they all lost their child and stuff like that, but the children are competing to be that child in a lot of ways. And they're all competing to be connected in that way, through bonds of insight and stuff like that. So, we went through the Chalice dungeons and we found the actual consciousness of Yharnam, and defeated her, and by defeating her, you defeated Murgo again, because you have to defeat Murgo. Technically, in the story, you defeat Murgo twice, and when you defeat Murgo in his nightmare, and Murgo binding and controlling the consciousness of his mom, ostensibly, Queen Yharnam, then you've actually defeated Murgo. But, you kind of don't defeat Murgo unless you do both. And he's your only real competition to be that child. Anyway, let's read the 3 actual umbilical cords before we eat them. A great relic, also known as the cord of the eye. Every infant Great One has this precursor to the umbilical cord. Every Great One loses its child and then yearns for a surrogate. The 3rd umbilical cord precipitated the encounter with the pale moon, which beckoned the hunters and conceived the hunter's dream. So there's a lot of wordplay in there too, used to gain insight, or so they say, eyes on the inside, although no one remembers what that truly entails. So what I was thinking there is, were you always a hunter and you just kind of got back into Yharnam? Were you always kind of sick? Because every player character is sick with something that they don't go into because it doesn't matter. And it's dire enough that you follow the rumors to Yharnam. Much in the same way Knights would follow the rumors of unending strength and power in demon souls, which beckoned them to the colorless fog. Very similar thematic there. So that's something to think about, because FromSoft loves its wordplay, because they love being kind of underestimated with their wordplay choices. But Frog Nation and FromSoft are very good at it. The next one says, every great one loses its child and then yearns for a surrogate, and Udin, the formless great one, is no different. To think it was corrupted blood that began this eldritch liaison. Yeah. This one is from, starts with an A, but they all start with an A. Yeah. So her blood was corrupted and sweet and stuff like that. So maybe it beckoned it, but maybe it started it, and maybe it started even far before she was even born. Every great one loses a child and then yearns for a surrogate. This cord granted Mensis audience with Murgo, but resulted in a stillbirth of their brains. Yeah, and so like we just went over, Murgo is in a couple of different places, and we know that he can project himself into his nightmare, just like Queen Yarnum can project her consciousness across the game world, because she's dead, but is her consciousness kind of moving about, and she's connected to him because she's his mom. And once you become a parent, like we mentioned before, whether you give them up for adoption or not, you are always a parent, and you're always a parent of that person, and they're always bound together by that red strand of fate kind of thing, not just the umbilical cord. And so Murgo, he dies in his nightmare, and he loses his nightmare, but he's still alive in the Chalice dungeons, and you have to go and knock him down, because he's like kind of feeding off of his mom's consciousness, because she's dead, but her consciousness still remains, per the Yarnum Stone. Anyway, bottoms up, everybody. That's why I don't eat them like immediately. I like talking about them when I have them all. Bottom is up. And by eating the umbilical cords, you are supplanting yourself in that connection between all three of those individuals, between Queen Yarnum, Udin, and the hunters. You are like merging all of those connections together into yourself, which is why this even works at all. Let me dump my souls. I hate carrying around souls. So anyway. Look at this Metal Gear Solid looking place. Yeah, because it's not just because you're unifying all of the connections, and you're supplanting yourself into not just the Moon Presence's connection, you're supplanting yourself into Udin's connection as well as Queen Yarnum's connection. You're unifying that, and so you can't be you can't be controlled by the Moon Presence, because you're not just connected to the Moon Presence. You have more than one parent, essentially. You have like 3, or depending on how you count it, 6 maybe. So like you're not bound to one great one, you're bound to more than one, if that makes sense. So you can't be just controlled by the moon presence. And the moon presence doesn't like it that you're also connected or drawing power out from Udin and Queen Yarnum and Murgo and all of that, because you've competed against all of them and you defeated each one and you've taken their power. Emblematic in eating the umbilical cords.
Good hunter, you've done well. The night is near its end. Now, I will show you mercy. You will die, forget the dream, and awake under the morning sun. You will be freed from this terrible hunter's dream.
You can do it, don't worry. I have never attempted a low soul level thing. It's not something I'm really interested in. Okay, so Folding Ideas has a really good video on this ending right here, the one that I've got highlighted, the Submit Your Life one, as the worst of the endings. People call it the good ending, but it's the most depressing of them. And that video is very good. So I'll link that down below in when this is on YouTube. But for these purposes, we're refusing.
Dear, oh dear, what was it? The hunt, the blood, or the horrible dream? Oh, it doesn't matter.
Why can't my cape be red when I have your armor? Sigh.
It always comes down to the hunters. Help her to clean up after these sorts of messes.
Shink! That's such a great animation bit. Like, the people who do the CG
Gehrman
really love it when they get to do the CG. Why am I even trying to parry him? Only gonna do 1700 damage. It sucks. I do more damage with an L2. Just gonna take the safety heal. The L2 is so slow. Damn it. I was trying to get out, but I was out of stamina. Oof. Well. Yeah, my platinum character is at 250 because there's, you know, whatever. I'm gonna mark out and refill my vials. I can probably do this on eat, but I don't really want it. After a while, there's just not a whole lot to buy. Yes, it is. I think I have my platinum character at 250 is like at AR 6 something, 600 something. It's ridiculous. Yep, that's nice. By the way, this is how you grab the scythe in New Game. You just mark out. Insight back. No? Really? Oh, she's 60 grand. Actually, he's pretty cheap. I'm gonna read that badge in just a second. Just gonna burn through some stuff and buy out his stuff. Let's try 3. Yes, I agree. Samuel, definitely. Let's try 2 more. Oh, I forget it's 20 grand. Alright, let's read some things. So, the badge we got is... it definitely looks like his scythe. This hunter's badge, crafted in Gehrman's time, has no practical purpose except perhaps to assist in romanticizing about the past. So, from that paragraph we can understand that Gehrman is very much someone who clings to the past, clings to nostalgia. Nothing will ever be as good as it was back in Ludwig's or Lawrence's time. It's like some old guy who can't let go of the fact that he's not in his prime anymore. And another way of talking about that is when somebody romanticizes it, they forget about all the flaws the past had, or they give it a pass. And Gehrman certainly gives the past a pass. He certainly has willfully or unwillfully forgotten the horrors that he probably helped he perpetrated in resulting in the old Hunters DLC. The badge was a special privilege for the hunters of the past and should not be dishonored. It should be left in peace unless one is truly prepared to assume the will of those gone before. And we've seen the will of those gone before in the Old Hunters DLC. And most of them wanted you to leave well enough alone. Yeah. And Gehrman's clothes is down here somewhere. Hunter attire of Gehrman the First Hunter. Created before the workshop existed by making adjustments to everyday clothing and later became the basis for all hunters' garb. The hunter's emphasis on engaging beasts with speed and therefore of selecting lightweight attire no doubt traces back to Gehrman's own combat style. It's pretty much the same everywhere. So here's one interesting echo. The choir likes paying homage to the past by covering their eyes in homage to Willem, even though they went off in their own direction and they don't give a crap anymore about that. Hunter garb pays homage, whether you know it or not, to Gehrman, because his own combat style was like, whatever you can find, kind of like scrappy kind of stuff. And his weapon is the burial blade. Trick weapon wielded by Gehrman, the First Hunter, a masterpiece that defied the entire array of weapons crafted at the workshop. Its blade is forged with siderite, said to have fallen from the heavens. The only other weapon that has fallen that is made out of siderite is this one, the Blade of Mercy. Gehrman surely saw the hunt as a dirge of farewell. And dirges, for those who don't know, is a funeral song, but it's different from a threnody. A threnody? Threnody. Wishing only that his prey may rest in peace, never again to awaken to another harrowing nightmare. So here's the whole thing about sound again. Formless Udin was just a voice. Gehrman thought it was like a dirge of farewell. Yeah. Like, it's, their songs and melodies are very important to Bloodborne, but really aren't talked about that much. You have Murgo's Lullaby that pings at Gascoigne, and Murgo's Lullaby is a meme / tulpa within Yharnam. Yeah. Some little interesting connections right there. I never got Boreal Blade to really work very well on my skill character. It's an interesting weapon, but I think its transform attack is a little slow. But it's been a while since I've used it, so maybe I'll try it out. Yeah, you can stack its rally potential with guidance and stuff. Alright. And, by the way, the skybox has changed once more. Before you fight and defeat Gehrman, it is still kind of like late afternoon, and it's more blue than it is black and red. And there's actually motes of red in the skybox before you fight Gehrman. And after you fight Gehrman, it is much more black, a lot more pale. Like the Nightmare Frontier color scheme is kind of way back there, but it's right above you. It's black. The moon is very red. Yeah. Most people miss that the skybox changes because they don't mark out in between fights. Alright. Hi. Anything else? Yeah, no. I already beat Gehrman. He's no longer mowing the lawn. Also, this is the only... or if you marked out during Gehrman fight, now I can co-op, actually. I can sit here and use the Beckoning Bell or the Resonant Bell. Or the Sinister Resonant Bell. I can invade other people's nightmares. Which might have some lore potential. Actually. But, you know. I have seen invasions in here. I could be mistaken, or it could be that could have been a bug that got patched out a while ago, but I thought I saw some invasions in here. Anyway, let's go fight a wannabe gaping dragon. Its most dangerous attack is if you get comboed right after it drops your health to 1. That was greed. But if you get comboed during that attack, you're dead. Alright. I just broke him. Would you calm down? Oh right, I can't heal. Never mind. He's dead. That's like literally a Final Fantasy attack.
Are you cold?
So now that you're connected to more than one Great One, via the devouring of their umbilical cords and taking out the competition, you get to become the Great One. Congrats! You are now a baby squid. So, that's Bloodborne. Yeah, I don't know. Ah, the OST is so good. That low bass in this song is such a good one. Okay, so what do people think? What are their, like, questions and stuff? I might stretch this to an hour and co-op some things. Because cordial intrusions are the ways to insight. Thank you, Yamamura Chikage. Thank you. Yamamura Chikage. You're a good dude. Hey Loki, you're here! You missed the moon presents. Oh. My dog is a baby squid. It's true. squared. Localization is a tough thing, man. Even worse when it's like the Yakuza games. The Yakuza games are ridiculous localization efforts. Daniel Fine. Thanks. So what do people think about the music connection in Bloodborne, or perhaps maybe those connections, both ephemeral and not ephemeral, which you spend the entire game stealing, or to transcend the hunt? And is the moon presence more pale blood, or is pale blood sort of a more ephemeral concept that you transcend? While I'm scratching behind the ears of my dog. Shuhei Yoshida had a funny video on Nico Nico Doga the other day. Actually, yesterday. And what are people's, like, final thoughts on things? Basically, just what do people think, and if they have any questions and stuff like that. Hi, Milijango. The Yarnum Stone. Divorced from the lore, it's probably just a trophy, like a trophy item. It's like, hey, I've got this thing. But, otherwise, it's a big clump of blood with possibly a fetus inside of it, or a face. It depends on how you look at it, I guess. But like I mentioned earlier, like I mentioned earlier, you're searching. You don't exactly beat Murgo completely when you slay his nightmare, if that makes sense, because the Yarnum Stone tells us that the queen lies dead, but she's still alive in the Chalice dungeons, and you have to go into the Chalice dungeons to smack her around some. It's the same concept. Murgo is slain, but his consciousness still exists and is kind of puppeting his mom's consciousness in the Chalice dungeons. And so, the Yharnam's stone is probably more their crystallized combined consciousnesses. A symbol of you taking out your competition once and for all.
You may think it all a mere bad dream.
Because Murgo is your biggest competition. It's got its nightmare. It's got an audience. It's got a big ass brain. You know. And he would have been it. But you had other plans. At least that's what I think the Yharnam Stone is trying to represent. You've conquested and you've looted this stone. And remember, the whole point of the Chalice dungeons is you want to commune with the Great One. And you do, at the very bottom. You commune with Yharnam and Murgo. And Murgo's a Great One, kind of. Anyone have any s'mores? No? I guess. I still love the spectral lighting engine they've got in this. It's so good. What I find interesting is there's no choice but to go into the next new game. I mean, it'd be silly to stick around after you've become a baby squid, but I still need a sign that says that. It does not open from this side. Time for Groundhog Day. So I'm just gonna play a little while I chat with you guys. But this is the finale. Oh, I thought I was not going to hit him. Yeah. This is like the 19th stream. I'm gonna move on to a different game. Maybe tomorrow. Nah, man. Furthest I've gotten in any Souls game is New Game plus 3. Before I get like, I'm gonna go try a different build now. Yeah, and I was kind of half working on a theory about the nature of the dream in the DLC. That it seems like each section is representative of maybe that boss's nightmare. So for the first bit is possibly Lawrence's nightmare, and then the River of Blood stuff is all Ludwig's nightmare, and then it goes into Maria's nightmare. Hi, Cleric Beast. I love that sound choreography. And I wonder if that's just coincidence or the Cleric Beast yelling because it knows that you're climbing the ladder. Sorry I didn't come to kill you last game.
Oh, you must be a hunter.
Gilbert's my favorite.
Not one from around here either. I'm Gilbert, a fellow outsider. You must have had a fine time of it. Well, I don't think what I'm... This town is cut, whatever.
Where's Gehrman's stuff, anyway? Oh, Gehrman doesn't have a... No, that's Yamamura. Where the hell is Gehrman's hat? Gascoigne Gehrman. Okay. Well, Cleric Beast and Lawrence's Cleric Beast are very similar as to be the same model, except with different skins. Different texture skins on it, anyway. And then there's Bloodletting Beast and his headless variant. And, yeah, like Cleric Beast and Lawrence look exactly alike. Thanks for the follow. Oh, hey! Thanks for the host, Ego Border. Alert box took a moment to, like, pull up your name. We just finished, the first run. I'm just kind of hanging out, killing people. Figure I'll go for like an hour, hour and a half. Why would you take a sedative? Yeah. The vampire... Did you... Ego Border, did you see the vampire, trailer for E3 yet? Well... Mimetim, like, it's very possible because of how bodies and consciousness don't work together in a lot of ways. Yeah, I think it looks cool. I want to see what gameplay's like on Vampire before I get really excited about it. But the trailer was good. Trailer was neato. What else is popping up with E3? There's Hell something. Hellpoint? Hellpoint, maybe. Hell something. I saw a small snippet of it and I'm not sure if it was the same thing. I want to get the shortcuts open before I help people through the Chalice dungeons, I guess. I think that's just Bandai Namco. With regards to Code Vein, I think that's just Bandai Namco leaning on their audience base for Dark Souls, even though it's by the same people as what is it, God Eater? And it looks to have the same play style as God Eater. I saw the story trailer for Ace Combat 7, which looks pretty good. Kind of gave me that Gundam feels without the Gundams. Like I need any more echoes. Get out of the way, man. Bloodstained should have a new demo, but it's still not ready yet. Oh, that'll be amazing. I'm super looking forward to that game. Bloodborne cart? Oh yeah. Bloodborne cart. It'll probably be like, if I was gonna mark up some things, it'd be like a coffin with some wheels on it. One of those baby carriages would be all of the cars would run on moonlight. There you go. They'd all have like HMGS trails when they were going in turbo mode. Oh man. Bloodborne cart. That werewolf had a bad day over there. You know, I don't know if FromSoft has done a fighting game. That'd be pretty cool. Or they can loan out Gehrman to like Tekken 7. Be a guest character in Tekken. Oh man, could you imagine Gehrman as a guest character in Tekken? Would you get over here? Ah, damn it, I dodged right into that. So, where's my dude? There he is. Gehrman and Tekken. Now I totally am disappointed that it might not ever happen. I was jazzed when I heard Kiryu might be the first guest character in Tekken from the Yakuza series, and I'm like, Orphan of Kos is Street Fighter. Jeez. That was annoying. Poor guy, his face got eaten right off. Orphan of Kos in Street Fighter would be ridiculous. Wee! I like that they brought it back slightly with Dark Souls 3. The evangelists aren't completely mad hollowed. They're somewhat sane still. In that they will talk to you. Hey guys. Hey, it looks like we shop at the same place. Bed Bath & Beyond? Huh. Yeah, Oceros is pretty chatty. The evangelists, as far as mobs go, are pretty chatty, and I think they might be the only ones. Actually, no, that's not completely true. The deacons, guys, they don't talk to you, but they can be heard mumbling the whole time.
Don't think too hard about all of this. Just go out and kill a few beasts. It's for your own good. You know, it's just what hunters do. You'll get used to it.
Ye old peg leg. Whatever. I'm gonna do a little bit of co-op while I chat. See if there's anybody even looking. You ignorant slaves, how quickly you forget. Side note. Osiris's voice is also Jura's voice, who's also Vendrick's voice. All three of them are kings of their small domains. You pick up yeah, you make them hunters. You pick up fair maidens by making them hunters. I want to do a Demon Souls thing, but I'm not sure if I can record. I can't record off my PS3. So maybe what I will do is like make some commentary. I'm not sure how I'll do that. You know what I like? I like in Dark Souls 3, here's something most people will miss as a co-op summon in Dark Souls 3. In Dark Souls 3, there's a little light when you spawn in. And it's a weird little red light, and it moves towards the direction of where your summoner is. So useful if you know that's what it's for. Oh, there he is. I love the scythe. Yeah, but it's automatic as a summon in Dark 3. I like this person's fashion. Very nice. Very nice. Scythe with Canehurst legs and Maria hat. Very nice. scythe is such a super good weapon. Dark moons. Dark moons never get summoned. They have nothing to rely on. I'm surprised I got summoned in on something that isn't Defiled Amy G. This is pretty much all I do nowadays when I just play by myself. I just co-op the Chalice dungeons. Which is why I like the Chalice dungeons now. No, it's for everybody. I was more surprised when I got summoned in as a Spear of the Church, and I was wearing freaking my Sunbro Covenant. I wasn't wearing the Spear of the Dark Moon thing, the Spear of the Church thing. I was like, what the heck is going on? And this was like 2 weeks ago, so there should have been people on my shard. Yeah, for the most part, I summon and I co-op Deer a lot. I finished Watchdogs pretty much the same time as I finished Rosaria, because I just co-opted the Grues. I mean, not co-op. I had farmed the Grues and the pair of Dark Wraiths, and they would drop what is needed. I think I finished Watchdogs way before I finished Rosaria. The only thing I haven't done is farm the ceremonial ribbons for the Spears of the Church. Haven't gotten both of those things yet. Been more interested in farming, in killing Madeir. Yeah, and if you're gonna co-op Madeir, you better choose wisely and choose like one guy, because having 3 or 4 people is just going to mess Madeir's AI up something fierce, the same way it does for Amy G. Amy G and Madeir have very similar AI sets. Like their AIs doesn't like key in on a single person, they key in on like why did I completely miss? I hear it's a little bit worse on PC, but yeah. For me, though, I just want to learn, like, certain bosses really well. And it's easier for me to just co-op that. Who just got wrecked? I know, right? OP lasers. 1950s blue lasers. Guess this emissary doesn't come in peace. Emissary, try invader. It's got the cosmos and it's not afraid to use it. As far as a really, really wry, gallows sense of humor, which is why, like, the Havoc engine is tuned the way it is, because they think it's funny. Because listen, I'm sure you've played lots of Havoc engine games before that aren't tuned the way Dark Souls is tuned. But they think the ragdolls are really funny, so they did it that way. I still hope that they have let Devolver Digital remaster Metal Wolf Chaos. I will be first in line. E3! By the way, if you're on PlayStation, there's the E3 sale is on, and it is very good. Yeah, like, thank Miyazaki's weird sense of humor for the ragdolls in Dark Souls and Bloodborne and stuff like that. By the way, I asked this in the Discord, but should I get Armored Core 5 or Armored Core VD? Armored Core 5 or Armored Core 5 Victory Day? Verdict Day? Verdict Day. You're telling me there's 20 games in that series? Like, there's literally 20 games in the Armored Core franchise. You can tell, like, FromSoft is very raring to get back to that franchise. They love that franchise. There's 18 games, but there's only, what, 5 mainline games? Most of them are kind of Scholar of the First Sin as kind of remasters, as far as I understand. And some of them are PSP ports, and some of them are, like, mobile ports. Yeah, I was looking around for 5, and there's a GameStop near me with Armored Core 5 for like $10, so I might go pick it up. But yeah, I was thinking about doing like an audio commentary to listen to while thinking about what I could do for Demon Souls, because I want to do something for Demon Souls, but I'm not quite sure what. And I know JSF is already doing something for Demon Souls. Don't tell him I told you, but he's doing something for it. Holy crap! Run! Run! Where's the boss? Boss door, boss door. Why can't I get... I can't get in. I can't get in. I can't get in. There's no prompt. Listen, that's me hitting the X button. Yeah, I'm just gonna have to blink out. Yeah, I need the blue key. Yeah, I got Demon Souls on... I had Demon Souls for like $20 a while ago. It's not a special copy. It's just the pre-greatest hits copy. Yeah, hopefully the boss didn't get health boosted. Whoops. Yeah, but I'm not sure what I want to do with Demon Souls. Listen, Demon Souls is way expensive if you decide that you're going to stream it on Japanese PS Now. It's like almost prohibitive. It's like 3,000 yen for 30 days, and 3,000 is like $35 or something. So you're for 30 days. I've thought about streaming Demon Souls off of Japanese PS Now for stream, but 3,000 yen? Really? Yeah, it's expensive on Japanese PS Now. Wait. Which way is the souls coming from? Is that him? Oh. Okay. Yeah, Dark Souls for me was like 10, $20. Where are these echoes coming from? I actually finished Bloodborne. I'm just hanging out and chatting with everybody. Side note, I really like how phantoms look in Bloodborne as opposed to Dark Souls. I hadn't played it for like a year, and it's nice to come back to it. Where are these echoes coming from? Just gonna have to go searching. Usually I could see where they're coming from and go that way. Yeah, Bloodborne phantoms are so good looking. I like the blue tinge. It's nice. Ego board, are you playing Scholar or Vanilla? Ooh. Yeah, I went through Scholar right before the second DLC dropped for DS3. And it was fun. There are things I don't like from DS2, but on the whole, I really like DS2. And for those who think DS2 has like nothing to offer DS3, I respectfully disagree. There are thematics that are really important to understand in DS2 that are really important for DS3. Would you take a chill pill? I think this might be it, the Watchdog area. But yeah, like I think Dark Souls 2 has a lot to offer Dark Souls 3, and just because Dark Souls 2 isn't like explicitly name-checked the way Dark Souls 1 might be, doesn't mean that Dark Souls 2 has nothing to do. Really? Already? I just turned around for like 1 second. You know, you turn around for 1 second and there's a blood liquor. Boom, blood liquor. Oh, that guy already unlocked the boss layer, so maybe he's in the treasure layer. I've seen blood liquors appear that fast, but it's always funny when it happens. You know, I only did it once, and it only took me one run to get what I needed for Chalice materials. Yeah, you find a lot of weirds. Like, roots are really interesting just to, like, look through and go through. Watchdog, yeah! Everybody move! It's gonna charge! Really? That's nuts. Did you keep that glyph? Well, Beckoner's dead. Because he forgot the #1 rule of Watchdog is never stand in front of him. Ever. Watchdog doesn't really care for your Medea strats. I always circle strafe Watchdog. It doesn't matter whether it's clockwise or anti-clockwise, but I just never like standing in front of him because I don't want to risk being in front of him when he does that charge attack. Yeah. Yeah. Actually, this is pretty much what I did for a long time. And when I say I lived in Chalice dungeons, this is pretty much what I did. I just helped other people. Welp. Most people will summon in for Defiled MEG, which I find is a bad thing to do. I don't think Defiled MEG is very good for summons anyway. Mostly because of how MEG's AI behaves. It behaves much like Medea. In that it's like... it flips out when there's more than like one person there. Even my 250 gets summoned in a lot on short rituals. which I found really weird, but this is only a 111. It's actually probably harder to get summoned in under password through short ritual chalice, because my suspicion is that there's a massive SQL database for all the chalices and root chalices, and it like generates whatever is still active at the time, and it has to like search through all of them to see who's ringing a bell before it pops you. Is it like completely empty? Also, side note, it's actually pretty interesting, the difference in, like, community cultures between, like, the Japanese community culture, which will just keep leveling forever and ever, and then, like, the Western one, which kind of hangs around 120 to 240 or so. How do you, like, get back to the hunter's dream if there's no lamp? That's a chalice layer where the watchers were like, let's go take a coffee break, and then they never came back. Okay, yeah. Seal. I forgot about the seal lamps. I'll do one more, I guess. By the way, what do people think? And here's an idea, because I just remembered that when I read seal lamp, all the chalices say that they bring labyrinth seals. Okay, that's fine. Everybody knows that. Are the labyrinth seals actually the lamps? And if we extend that further, is Yharnam part of the labyrinth now that it has a lot of lamps? Hey, Queen Killer! My favorite NPC. Look! He's the best. Look at him. Cannon. Wheel. I'd rather co-op Watchdog than Defiled TVG. Telling you. Look, Queen Killer's here. Everything's fine. Oh, come on. Queen Killer is the best. I spent a week when I first did the chalices. I spent a week stuck on Watchdog. Come on. But as a summon, I much prefer Watchdog to Amy G. Yeah. I think Amy G is way easier solo. Because you can control her AI a lot more when you're solo. She's a lot more predictable. That's just been my experience, though. I know there's a few people around who prefer Amy G because they tell their summons to, like, back up and stay out. Who just... Oh, Queen Killer. RIP. Yeah, Executioner Gloves is fun for Amy. Well. Never stand in front of Watchdog. Yeah. What's funny, I have a funny story about Executioner Gloves and Amy G. When I was going through it, on my Arcane character, I had a couple of friends who wanted to hang out and play too. I think that was a different guy. They both died the same way, but I think they were different because he was using the Boreal Blade and the other guy was using something else. But anyway, so I had a couple of friends who wanted to, you know, come along with me through the Chalice dungeons of my Arcane character. I'm like, yeah, whatever. We get to Amy G, and my friend, who's Assaulter Bob, who's on Discord, you can make fun of him later. He tries to help with Amy G. He dies pretty immediately. I mark out and I'm like, wait a minute, I'm just gonna do this myself. And I just, you know, triangle, square, triangle, triangle. Up, triangle, square, square. Amy G until it was dead. And he's like, well, I guess you didn't need me there. I'm like, yeah, Amy G's just easier solo. That's my Amy G story. I just find Amy G's easier solo. That's just it. Yeah, that's true. It takes a lot of finesse, I think, sometimes. Because even I don't know... I always forget how many steps back it is when... Because when Amy G jumps straight up in the air and checks for your position... this is the same guy who just died. Let's see here. Yeah, when Amy G jumps straight up in the air and checks for your position, you can take like 3 or 4 steps back and then start charging your Ludwig's Holy Blade. And as soon as she drops, you'll be done with charging and you'll get a nice charge. Yeah, but like doing that means you know exactly how many steps to take back, and that's a lot of... That's like a lot of finesse. Yeah. See, I just... Personally, I do a lot of just baiting her hand slams and just hitting her in the head. That's for that. Yeah, if you're using Ludwig's Holy Blade, you can do that. I think there's a couple other charges that do the same thing, but I don't remember how many steps back it is. Queen Killer, really? Hey, Star-Lord. Thanks for the follow. Get down. Bad dog. Taking that safety heal. Stop it. Reasons I still work on lockdown. Come on, dog. Oh, he's so dead if he can't get out. Oh, wait. He interrupted? Okay. Mamatim! Thanks for the follow. Stop barking. Dumb dog. I thought he got nailed for sure. Good luck, good sir. It's actually pretty worth it to co-op the Chalice dungeons. You still get boss gems, which is, you know, if this was an arcane character using fire weaponry, it would be pretty good. Yeah, it's free gems. Although mostly it's Watchdog or MEG, and they give really crappy gems, which I think I just got this one right here. This one's actually pretty good, if only I was using fire weapons. Alright, one more. And then I will call it a night. I wanna stream Prey, but the last update that Arcane and Bethesda did with Prey kind of messed it up a little bit. So I'm gonna wait on that. I'm either gonna be streaming Fury, which is a game I really like, for some of the reasons I like boss fights in Dark Souls and Bloodborne. Is instead of getting really mad at bosses, I really want to learn them. So, Fury does that. Or Life is Strange, which is free this month in PS Plus. One of those I will stream in between all these things. Or, unless people want to do like a DS3 community run, I'm down for that. Or DS2 Scholar community run. But I'm not sure how easy it is to grab stream guys to do that. This is another Watchdog. Yeah, it's stupid worthwhile to like to co-op Chalice dungeons. It's like ridiculous. I want the hope. Bark, bark, bark. Yeah, I only have my platinum character on Scholar, and like one other half-finished build in the Champions Covenant. So I couldn't make a new character and like do a community run. People want to do that. Oof. That was almost super greed right there. Doggo. You know, when I wake up in the morning, I really would love to hear the opening strains to this theme song. Should make it an alarm. Orphan Phase 2. He is a dog. Loud noises scare them. Whiff. He's lagged slightly, messing me up a little bit. Bark, bark, bark. Five days from retirement. Well, him vomiting like a doggo got him killed. What's also funny is Madeir does things like my dog. Like, my dog is very tiny, but when my dog, like, shyly approaches me, he will put his head on the ground asking for pets, and it reminds me of Madeir, like, a lot. Oh yeah, and now that I'm in New Game Plus, all the ritual materials are available. Another reason why I think they didn't... I don't think they intended people to rip through the Chalice dungeons in New Game. New Game 4 and 5, and JSF was telling me that Hill is effectively depth 6 because of modifiers put on the enemies. I don't think they intended people to go through the Chalice dungeons all in one go, pretty much. You can, but I don't think they intended that to be a thing. Here's my... After co-oping him a lot, here's my thought. Madeir is caught between the dark that's slowly taking over him, and his desire to adhere to his oaths. And he knows, just like Shira knows, that he needs to be put down because he can't control the dark within him anymore. And so after he does his six combo string, ending with a double hand slam, he like lowers his head, and that doesn't seem like something, you know, a dragon would do, really, because like all the other dragons that you hit on the head, because their heads are the weak spot, they don't really lower their head that much, except for maybe King of the Storm, because you kind of have to. But I feel like in those moments where Mudir lowers his head for you to get a couple of hits in with him, like 2 on a Murakumo, he's like, please kill me now, and then he like flips out again. The dark is a fire in and of itself. Yeah, all of the materials are now available in New Game Plus. And they're all here too. This is also a very cool GIF. It's like a Jack-in-the-Box, except it's blood and a skull. What's in the box? What's in the box? It's a skull! Alright. I'm done messing around. Okay, so anyone else have any like insights they want to share or talk about before I call it a stream? You! Get out of here. Yeah, that was patched in, that like they unlocked with New Game Plus. Because they still weren't there when I killed Yarnum. Alright. Making contact. With the poles? I think what Samuel was talking about are those things over there. Where's all of these? Take a walk. I think JSF has theorized that they are holding up this layer of the dream from the Nightmare Frontier. I'll have to look back on some of the footage to see if they've always been here, or if they're a New Game Plus edition, or you know, whatever. But yeah, I think he's theorized that it's holding up the world in some way. In DS2, they could just be arch trees, but or roots of arch trees. But these are a lot more uniform. Sort of like a water texture at the bottom, or like that's the vision you get when you're looking above a cloud. They're just kind of moving. Because that does seem like water rather than mountains, even though mountainous. But yeah, that's that. I don't really have any thought personally on them. I just think they're a bit strange. See you, Mamatin. Have a good one. That's a pretty big tree, right? It's actually fairly red over the tree. Like, very far up through the branches in this tree that I'm like pointing at is very uncharacteristically red. You see that? Right at the top? I wish I had a laser pointer. That's where the skybox looks very different from the rest of the skybox. See, it's, and then it gets redder the closer to this tree it gets. Coincidentally, it's the tree that the messengers kind of hang out below. I'm not saying anything, just saying. It's like it's very concentrated over that tree. Let's see if we can't move over here. Yeah. Very interesting. Okay, so maybe I'll do an audio thing for deaths, which means I'd still have to write the scripts anyway if I wanted to do that. Okay, so thank you guys for coming out for this replay through Bloodborne. It was a lot of fun. I'm only behind like one video, one VOD on YouTube, so you know, the whole thing will be on YouTube very soon. And yeah, let me know what you are interested in seeing, and I'll get around to that. I'll keep you guys posted for Demon Souls things, but have a nice rest of the evening. Make contact with your local Great One, whether it be Amy G, or Ritas, or Murgo, and praise the moon. Praise the moon. Thanks for coming out, everybody.